Good morning, everyone. I'm Jon Moss, and I am from Chattanooga, about 90 miles south of here, home of the fastest internet in the country. And when I moved to Chattanooga in 2007, I had a problem. I didn't know anyone. I didn't know a single soul. We moved there sight unseen. And LinkedIn was one of the ways in which I was able to connect with the community. And obviously, we're talking about LinkedIn here. The question is not, are you on LinkedIn? Because how many people are on LinkedIn here? Okay. My question is, are you in LinkedIn? There's a difference there. The misconception is that LinkedIn is boring. It's not sexy. It's the place where your boss goes and puts his profile, but that couldn't be further from the truth. There is one distinction, though, between LinkedIn versus other social media platforms, and that is that we leave the puppies, we leave the kids, pictures of the kids and all that at the door. LinkedIn is about business. Now, here we go. I loved the Prince reference earlier, too. Before I got on LinkedIn, I had a big problem. My name is Jon Moss, and when you Googled my name, Jon Moss, you got these guys. Jon Moss is the second from the right. He also was in the band Culture Club, and he was also Boy George's boyfriend. So that is what came up on searches when you searched for me. LinkedIn is an awesome way to create personal SEO for yourself. If you go into your profile and you fill it out properly, and one of the nice things is it allows you to create a vanity URL, so you're not linkedin.com/a big number like on Google+. You are linkedin.com/in/Jon Moss or whoever. So thank you, LinkedIn. I am now on the front page of Google when you search my name, next to my buddy, Boy George. Another thing about LinkedIn that is really, really cool is you can see who's checking you out. You can look and see who's looking at your profile. This, to me, is way more valuable than spending all day looking at your clout score. And the reason for that is because it could be someone that is checking you out to learn about you and your company. It could be a prospective client. Heck, it could be your next employer. You have no idea. It could be your competition. Word of caution, though, just as you can see them, they can see you as well. So if you all day long are just checking out your competition, they can see you as well. There are ways to turn that off, but the disadvantage of that is then you can no longer see who's looking at you. But it reveals all kinds of interesting things to see who's checking you out there. Number 3. Signal. LinkedIn has a feature where you can go and search what people are talking about in terms of what they're posting. You can do keywords. This slide here represents me searching Social Slam to see who's talking about it. And even though I'm not connected with them on LinkedIn, I can interact with them. I can leave comments and whatnot. So think of this in your industry. You want to find out who's talking about stuff that you're involved in. This is a way you can go, and then you can obviously reach out and connect with them if you like as well. Groups. We call it group diving. This is probably one of the most overlooked sections of LinkedIn. You can connect with people around a certain topic or subject. And I think what a lot of people do is they just go to their industry. I'm in the marketing business, so I'm going to go and hang out in all the marketing groups. Well, that's nice, but what you should do is you should go and look and search out groups that your clients or your prospects are hanging out in. And I suggest you go and you just kind of listen. Don't jump in right away, because you may make an ass of yourself. Oh, excuse me, we're in the South. And the other thing is you can garner a lot of friendships and relationships through groups as well. There's some really active groups. When I first moved to Chattanooga, I looked on LinkedIn and noticed there wasn't a group for Chattanooga, so I'm going to talk about that in just a sec as well. If you don't find a group that is centered around the topic that you're looking for, start your own. People that are interested in it will find you. Plus also with a group URL, you can promote that in your email, on your blog. You can tweet it out. Hey, if anyone's interested in this on LinkedIn, come join us in this group. It's a great way to build a community. And like I said, when I went to Chattanooga, I created a group, and it's a small group, but it's thriving. It's pretty active. And the nice thing about being an admin for a group is you get to control access, you set the tone and the flow, and you also get to send a message every week that lands in everyone's inbox. You don't want to be spammy about it, but it's a good way to communicate with people. Company profiles. LinkedIn used to be just about you as a professional. Now your company can have a profile. People always were going around asking for, hey, can you write me a recommendation on LinkedIn? And that's for you as a professional. But now your company can list its products and services, and people can recommend them as well. I took this shot of IBM. They've got a ton of recommendations on their products and services. And again, you don't have to go out and seek out every single person to recommend you, but make your clients aware that you guys are on there, and kind of hint that you'd love for them to make that recommendation. Your blog. Your blog, if you're on WordPress or Live or any other platform, you can put your blog on your LinkedIn profile. It's a great way to, again, just showcase yourself, because LinkedIn is about you and your professional life. And if you have a blog, whether it's your company blog or a personal where you write things professionally, it's a great way to showcase yourself and attract more readership. Video. There's a few tricks you can do to actually add video to your LinkedIn profile. You can do this through SlideShare, and also Google has a plugin that you can add video as well. So it's not, and depending on what you're doing on LinkedIn, you could be there to go get a job, or you could be there to network and get new business. So whatever your video is, have it centered around that focus, and don't be afraid to switch it up, change it up. Also, slide presentations through SlideShare. You can load this up and people can view all your presentations that you've done before. It's just a nice way of rounding out your profile on LinkedIn. Answers. This actually is, in my opinion, the one that everyone seems to miss. This is basically where you can go and ask questions on a variety of topics. They have a ton of categories and subcategories for you to post questions, get answers from people. And the beauty of this is that, everyone wants to look good here. So they're not going to give you a crappy answer. I've gone in and asked questions like legal questions, and have had attorneys just go in, and if someone says something that's kind of off base, someone else will jump in and call them out and say, no, that guy's wrong. So everyone's trying to shine there. And the cool thing about it is LinkedIn lets you, after you ask a question, it lets you pick the best answer, and then you get a little star next to your name. And it's cool to collect stars. So asking questions is one thing, but the other thing is answering the questions. Because the more questions you answer well, you get selected to get a star next to your name, and people take note. I got a call out of the blue once from a reporter from Business Week, and he said, "Hey, I've been checking out your answers on LinkedIn, and you seem to know what you're talking about in this area. Can I interview you?" And I'm like, "Dad, is that you?" Absolutely, I can make time for that. It's a great way to showcase your knowledge, and also to get information. Normally you'd have to spend $300 an hour to sit with an attorney, and these guys are just falling over backwards to try to show themselves off that they know what they're talking about. All right. This may be a personal pet peeve of mine, but you know how you can connect your LinkedIn, your Facebook to your Twitter, to your Google Plus, and this is great. I'm just going to tweet out once, and it's going to go everywhere. I would recommend, at least with LinkedIn, don't do that. You've got... LinkedIn is about business. It's not about what you're having for lunch. We don't want to see your Instagram pictures of your sushi. And more importantly, think about who's on LinkedIn. You've got those stodgy professionals, you know, in that slide I had before, you know, owners of companies, CEOs, CFOs. Those guys, hey, they're not all as social as we are outside of LinkedIn. And if you go in there with all your hashtags and stuff like that, they're going to just go, what is this? And, you know, they can just, even if they're connected with you, they can just turn off your stream. Like, that guy is just out of control. I don't want to see his stuff. And then guess what? They'll never see your stuff again. So that is my plea to you. Please do not cross the streams. I'm Jon Moss, and I invite you to carry on the conversation with me on Twitter afterwards, connect with me on LinkedIn, and that's it. Thank you.